gonna keep going, goddammit. What it do? Wow.
Charlo has just vanquished Erickson Lubin.
The truth, Perro Spence Jr.
There's a big left hand.
Gervonta Davis.
Shout out to the almighty LBBC, the Lions Den boxing community. If you didn't know, now you know. And now you know. What's good, everybody? Everybody that's been getting their notifications, and they should be getting them as we come in. YouTube has been pretty much tripping with the notifications, but that's all right. Just follow on in and hit that like button as you come on in. I am KQKC Boxing Network. I am the OG with the young G. We are talking about Knockout Boxing 86 TV. What's good with you, baby? What's happening?
Oh man, I'm chilling though. G, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm hanging in there, man. I mean, I just came off a good fight night last night. And like I say, no matter how big or how small, you know, it's just the fight itself. And the fight last night, it was on fire. I mean, what a main event. I mean, what a co-main event. You know, so I'm happy with it. I can't wait to the next fight, you know. So, but we got a lot to talk about. You know, we got some things to talk about, some things that can be done, some things that trying to be undone. I mean, where we at? You know, where we at right now? You know,
I mean, we got so much to talk about, OG. And I can't wait because I gotta get your thoughts on a lot of stuff, man. One of your favorite fighters looked like he going through some personal issues. I don't know if you saw the video yesterday. Obviously, we got to talk about Tank and Ryan. You got Mauricio Lara and Lee Wood this week. You know, it's just so much going on in boxing, man. It's a great time to be a boxing fan, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like I told everyone last night, this year, I really believe that this is going to be the best year of boxing because some of the fights already been made, already been sold, you know, but I really believe this is going to be a great year of boxing in the last 3 years or more. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, we got great fights, not counting the Earl Spence and Crawford fight. Matter of fact, some people forgot about it already. You know, so I can't wait. You know, we got Plant, we got Garcia and Davis. I mean, those two alone, it's on fire. You know, so I can't wait.
Yeah, if Oscar De La Hoya don't block the damn fight, if he don't ruin the fight, he's bullshitting right now, man.
But you know, like I say, I'm not a big football fan, but for those that watching the Super Bowl, keep an eye out and an ear out for that announcement. Because Oscar De La Hoya is saying that they're going to make the announcement, and Steven Espinosa is saying that Oscar jumped the gun, but they're supposed to make an announcement during or after or before the Super Bowl. All right.
I mean, that would be smart. If they took out ad money and they announced it during the Super Bowl, that's the most watched event that's going to ever happen in the year. You know what I mean? Super Bowl always got the best ratings. There's going to be 30, 40 million people watching. So if they did all of this to get us all riled up and all upset and have me talking all this shit this morning, but then they announce it this afternoon, I'll be a happy camper first thing tomorrow morning, man. So I ain't tripping on it. It's just crazy, man. The stuff that they've been going through. But man, you want to see who in the building, then we can get this thing started.
Oh yes, sir. Let's see who all fell up in here. All right, what's going on, Marcus? All right, salute to you, my brother, coming on in here. We got Yo Sauce is up in here, baby. What's going on? What's going on, Kamara? The Steppin' Razor is up in here. What's going on, Aquilio? Nature is up in here. What's up, BD Boss Dog is up in here, baby. Wow. Yes, sir. He said, proud of Faust from East Texas. I heard that. I know. I'm proud of the young man himself. All right, Mr. Mechanical, what's good with you? Daryl DeLoach, what's good with you, baby? Yes, sir. Orlando Rose is up in here. Up early with it. I heard that, baby. You know how we do it. Yes, sir. Jay Ready, my man, is up in here. All right. Yes, sir. And I appreciate that. Cash app. Oh, and you know what I'm talking about, baby. All right, Edgar Chavez, what's good with you? All right, salute to you. All right, who else we got up here? We got Dante Hall, boxing talk. He said, "Fly, Eagles, fly. Can't wait." Wow. If Edmundo Gutierrez, Texas run boxing. Well, you know what? You might be right about that. You might be right about that, baby. All right. And let's see. That's it right now until somebody else fall on in here. All right. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So let's get this thing started, OG. So a
Mm.
video service over the weekend. We got to talk about it. I hate talking about it, but
Mm.
Jermall Charlo. We probably
Oh.
got a glimpse of the personal issues that he been dealing with and why he been out the ring. So he
Uh,
was apparently, according to him, he was trying to pick up his children. And his what looked to be like his wife was irate. Kicking the car, doing all kind of stuff. So they got into it heavy over the weekend, man. Did you see that? And if you did, what's your thoughts on that situation, man?
I didn't see it, but I know the situation. I know what's going on, and I know how she is. And Jamal is in a dilemma. Jamal is in a place where his family don't like her. That's why Jamil called her all kind of bees and this and that. Because she's one of them young, fiery women that want to wear the pants and not the skirt. And Jamal love her. I mean, he really do love this woman, and he pretty much took and taken everything she dishes out. But that is uncalled for. The violence towards materialistic things, that's uncalled for. Like breaking windows and car windows and kicking his car, and that's very uncalled for. Now, if you love her that much and she love you, well, at least she says she does, then you get you some counseling. You get you someone that you can talk to. You get on the same page. That's what you need to do. Because see, I don't want to kick a man while he's down, and nobody else should neither. Because see, you're in a dangerous spot like that. Because see, this is how suicide happen. This is how when depression come in. And you don't want him, a fighter like Jamal, a big fighter. Now, what I hear that the Selucky fight is back on, and what I hear he's back in training also. So that it can be a very, very disturbing when you're doing that and going through training. But what I need for Jamal to do is get away from her. He need to get away from her and get some air, get some room, and they need to be apart for a while because he's going to end up in jail, or she going to end up in jail, or somebody going to get hurt, and that's what I'm afraid of. So,
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Everything you said was spot on. I just, from the boxing standpoint of it, I just wonder how he's gonna be able to compartmentalize if he's going through that in his personal life. It's gonna be hard to perform at the level that you're able to perform to when your house ain't right. It's hard to be right on the job. So I'm
yeah,
worried about that. But just him personally, in his life, I just hope that he finds whatever peace and happiness that he can find, and the same for her, because you never want to see a relationship like that, deteriorate and go sour, and now it becomes physical and volatile and all that toxic shit around children and stuff like that. And that's who really ends up being the ones to suffer if your kids have to go through that and see see that type of stuff. Now they picking sides, and they might get some animosity or some resentment towards one parent over the other, and it's just a
there
bad
you go.
situation for an entire family. So I hope they figure it out, man. I know what athletes have told me, that getting back to what they do and do well. Typically, we'll focus them, we'll center them. So maybe boxing is exactly what he needs right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I hope that everything works out between them, and that's really all I got on the situation, man. Without getting too much in this business and stuff like that. I hope that they figure it out, whether that be reconciling and getting counseling, or going their separate ways and co-parenting.
Right.
Um, it is what it is, man. I just hope that that they get it figured out, man.
Okay. YGB 22, what's good? Talib Cunningham, what's good? Jay Cooley, what's happening? Thrill here from Blueberry Hill, what's happening? Darnell Clark Bay, what's good with you? All right, my man Rick, Little Rick from the south side of Houston, what's good with you, man? All right, yes, sir. All right,
All right, so go ahead, OG. My bad.
No, I'm just saying, you're right, you're spot on, and like you say, sometimes you got to let out that aggression. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. And, go right ahead, go right ahead. And maybe that make him a better fighter and keep him busy and keep his mind off of things outside the ring. So and that's what I hope happens. So, yeah.
So,
that's all I get on that.
Yeah, so we only got like three fights from the main card to discuss. So we got a lot of news, y'all. So it's a lot of updates and a lot of news. And one of those things before we get into one of these fights, Michaela Mayer and Baumgardner.
Yes.
If we thought that rivalry couldn't get heated anymore, or it was gonna go anywhere, man, it's still there. It's still alive. It's still well. Michaela Mayer most recently had this to say about Alicia Baumgardner. And kind of really, threw some shade at her, man, as you would expect a rival like this to do. She really wants the rematch.
Right.
And so people were talking to her about it last weekend when Baumgardner was able to become undisputed. And Michaela Mayer said people won't shut up about it. Everybody's asking her whole undisputed night. It became about me. Everybody was asking about me. Everyone was asking about the rematch. That obviously pisses her the hell off. But, it's just what the fans want to see. It's the next best business move for her. We've always known she wasn't that smart. So, of course, she's not going to want to capitalize on that right away. But it's definitely the best move for her. She's learning. She also said she talked about her conditioning, too. She said she's just in the gym, continuing to hit those weights and getting all hyped on that. But she has a conditioning problem. She has no stamina. I don't know what she's doing that she couldn't last 3 rounds. So Michaela Mayer wasn't impressed, OG. She had a lot to say. She wasn't impressed. She said she ain't got no stamina, that she's stupid, and that everybody want to see the rematch. She need to give her rematch, man. What you got on that rivalry, man, and what Michaela Mayer had to say after Alicia Baumgardner's big night, man?
Well, what I called that fight, man, when she won, the young lady sitting next to her, I couldn't hear what she was saying, but of course, Mayor, they don't like each other. And she was clapping like, okay, you want me to clap for her? And she clapped a couple of times to say, okay, are you happy? They don't like each other. And it all stems from Eddie Hearn and that first fight. Now, that first fight, she wanted a rematch. Top Rank wanted a rematch. And ESPN. So Eddie, who represents Baumgardner, he said, okay, well, make me an offer. And it better be a lot of zeros on that offer, or it's no rematch. But Mayer, she got a problem. Because when you are undisputed, automatically, I think you should be the A side. And she said, wait a minute, hold up. Why we, ESPN and Top Rank, why we got to make you an offer? Why don't you all make us an offer? Or are you broke already, Eddie? Now, that is, quote, unquote, coming from Mayer. Well, Eddie don't have to make nothing because she's undisputed. She's going on to the next one. Now, yes, that rematch would be explosive. But Mayer, she want her get back. You see, because, remember, Baumgardner, the whole thing was this. Baumgardner came from nothing. Baumgardner came from nothing but working in the gym. She didn't have no Olympic pedigree. She didn't have no big promotion. She didn't have ESPN knocking on her door and ringing her phone to give her this big contract. Oh, no. But Baumgardner said she made her first $1 million in that fight. So, wait, why not a rematch? But like Eddie said, they're gonna have to make an offer to them, not us to them. Top Rank gonna have to make an offer to them because they are undisputed. So that's how I look at it, and he's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. I mean, my thing with that is this, man. I I absolutely positively have no issue with anything that Michaela Mayer said because she don't like Alicia Baumgardner and she got a chance to stand on it. Like, I don't have no issue when a fighter talk noise to another fighter. You can say whatever you want about another fighter as long as she ain't say nothing about that woman, family, her mama, her boyfriend, if she got one, whatever. Like, I don't care nothing about that, bro. I love that shit. Like, the only thing I would tell Michaela Mayer, whatever weaknesses you think Alicia Baumgardner got, maybe don't share them with the public. Maybe don't share them with the public. Maybe keep that to yourself and then use that going into the fight. Maybe outwork her. Maybe you know what I mean. Maybe work extra hard on your conditioning so you can drag in the deep waters or whatever. Because if she ain't got no conditioning and you think she can only last 3 rounds, but she just beat you, what that say about you?
Exactly.
That's all I would say. But as far as her like calling her dumb and saying she not smart and all that, I'm not tripping on it because she got an offer. She got an opportunity to make her offer to where Alicia Baumgardner can either shut her up for all the shit she talking or she can stand on everything she talking. If she was talking from another weight class or she was talking and didn't want to fight, you know how a lot of these boxers do these days. They'll talk all this noise, but they don't even send the contract or they don't press a fight or they don't want to fight. Michaela Mayer is not only talking all this noise and wanting to fight Alicia Baumgardner, she done already fought her. And she done lost to her, but she still got the confidence to be talking how she talking. I love that shit. I ain't gonna get mad at that, man. I ain't gonna get mad at that. I love that all the way around. I would just say, as far as like the offer go and all of that, if Baumgardner is gonna be the A side, then Baumgardner, the Eddie Hearn, he do need to send an offer. That's the only part I slightly disagree with. You got the champion. Your champion should want that fight too. It's the biggest fight for her. Why are you waiting on somebody else to pay for it, Eddie? You paying for Katie Taylor in Serrano, right? You about to send Serrano all the way over to Ireland. She about to fight Katie Taylor over there in Ireland in one of their stadiums or whatever. So you'll make offers for Katie Taylor, but you won't make offers for your other undisputed champion, Alicia Baumgardner. Nah, bro, you need to make the offer if you want her to be the A side. If you want her to be the A side, you need to make the offer. That's the only thing I would say that I think needs to happen, because I do agree that the undisputed champion should be the A side, but the A side should also be the one that's sending the offer, that's dictating terms and doing all of that. So that's where I'm at with it. But long story short, I think we both agree. I just want to see the fight. Deep down, I don't care as long as the fight gets made. But the business of boxing tells us that if you the A side, you got to send the offer. But it is what it is. I just hope they fight again, OG. That's the fight I want the most, because I want the winner of that to move up to 135 and fight the winner of Taylor and Serrano. That would be my dream for those 4 ladies that are in that whole situation. But I ain't mad at Mayer. There's a lot of people that's criticizing her for talking that noise. Like, I'm not gonna be one of them. Like, it's like people, even though I'm not a fan of Mayer, I'm not gonna be different. Like, I can't say that I like people talking noise, and just because somebody I may not be a fan of gets to talking noise, now all of a sudden I want to act like it's something she did wrong or said wrong. I'm not like that, man. Like, of course, I'm a bigger fan of Baumgardner than hers, and I would want Baumgardner to win that rematch, but I ain't gonna get mad at her for talking her shit. Do what you got to do to get the fight. Just like everybody else that we love when Devin Haney talks shit. We love when Earl and Terrence Crawford and all these other fighters that people talk about on a daily basis. We love when they talk shit. But Michaela Mayer, we want her to shut up. Nah, bro, let her talk her shit. That's what I think about it. But you got anything else on it, OG?
Well, I just want to touch on this now. Keep in mind now, sure, you want her to move up and fight maybe a Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano. But remember, Amanda Serrano is 35, will be 36, going into a fight, which will be her biggest payday to date at the age of 36. Now, all she wanted to be undisputed. And then she said, oh, I'm through. But now she's not. But I believe this might be her last fight. Now, Katie Taylor, she's no spring chicken either. She's 35 also.
Yeah, she older than Amanda.
Yeah, 35, yes. She's 35, yeah, she's 35, 36, yeah. So they both are not spring chickens. So if they're going to get it done, they better get it done very quickly, because they still got to go over to Dublin and fight in her home country for the first time, because she never fought there. And I really believe that And of course, I haven't heard anything from Colonel Loco or any of the inside people with Amanda Serrano, but she's thinking about retiring. That was 3 fights ago, so maybe her mind have changed. I don't know, but Baumgardner, she has a long ways to go. But I like you say, I like the back and forth. A Baumgardner call her a horse face. I mean, I like that. I mean,
what the hell is a horse face, bro?
I mean,
Yeah.
you try to say a head and face look like a horse, right? So
Damn.
hey, I like that. Go at it. Cause hey, the men do it. I mean, look at the plant in Benavides. I mean, that press conference was fire, baby. So why can't the women do it? Huh? Why they can't do it? So man, go for it. Go for it, baby. And you know what? And that fight will sell itself because it's gonna be pretty much a grudge match.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
That's one of them fights, OG. Ain't nobody gonna care what platform it's on. Don't nobody care where they fight it. Everybody gonna find a way to watch the fight. You know how it is. When you really want to watch something, you'll find a way to watch it. You'll find out where it's at, what time it is. You won't be late.
Oh yeah.
That's the type of must-see TV that people are into. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So yeah, bro. It's like the Super Bowl shit of that weight class, man. Like, I don't care. Like, they could tell you that the Super Bowl is on National Geographic today. They could tell you that the Super Bowl is on, you know what I'm saying, on the Discovery Channel. If you don't have that channel, people gonna find a way to get that motherfucking channel, bro. And they gonna watch that shit because it's a Super Bowl. That's what happened when you put out a great product. And Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner. That's just a great product for boxing, bro. It's a great product. So people gonna find a way to watch it. What's up, baby? I see you. What's going down?
Shout out to Carlos Munez and shout out to Miss Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Good morning. And Mark West, what's happening? All right. Yes,
all right, man. Let's get to the first fight as we continue the show, man. Talk to me about that heavyweight fight, man. Lanier Perro versus Victor Faust. It was a damn good fight, and it was fun to watch. And heavyweights, man. One looks like one guy's winning, and then the other guy hits him with some shit to make him forget where he at. And it wasn't even like a headshot. He hit him in the body so hard he forgot where he was at. I think he had the boo-boo in the ring or something, man. He didn't know what was going on. What you got on that fight, man? Well,
at first, when I was calling the fight, I didn't see that punch because it was on the right side, so I couldn't see it, until the replay, because I thought it was a right hand, that hit him in the nose because his, head popped back. But this is the hurt business, all right? Boxing is a combat sport, and like I say, that old cliche, everybody got a punching chance, but Pedro kept the high guard up. He kept the high guard up since round 1. And he was throwing a punch every 2 or 3 seconds. But Faust, he was pumping out that jab. He kept pumping it like a water fountain. He kept on putting that water out. And that's what he was doing. He kept on with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And then Pedro, he came out with the right hand. Now, he was coming off with the high guard, and he was throwing, and he was landing to the body. And that's what he was focusing on. Now, Faust was headhunting. He was headhunting all through the first few rounds. And then, of course, Pedro was going downstairs and trying to pretty much, I don't know why he was trying to stop the movement, but it wasn't no movement. Because Faust stood right there in front of him the whole fight. Because these are heavyweights. They're not going to spill a lot of energy by hopping and moving around. And using that lateral movement. They're going to stand right there and box. And that's what Faust was doing. Matter of fact, Faust was winning this fight going into that 7th round. But Faust got hit with a nice right hand to the body. Now, this is so funny about these body shots. You must and you have to understand, we body shots sometimes have a late effect on you. You get hit with a body shot, you still might walk and throw another punch, and then you feel it, and then you go down. See, that is what's funny, and that what tricked me, thinking that it was a right hand to the nose. See, I didn't see the body shot. That's what I didn't see because it was on the right side, my television. So I couldn't see it. So this is a great body shot. And like I said, Pedro, I mean, yeah, he won. And congratulations to him for a nice, hard body shot. But, I mean, let's be honest. He was losing that fight. He was losing that fight. But sometimes, one punch can change a whole fight, baby. It can change a whole fight. And that's what happened last night. You saw it clear as day. One punch did change that fight. It stopped that fight, matter of fact, because he didn't want no more. And that's about the gist of it, and that's what I'm saying. Body shots, listen, body shots is no joke. Body shot is no joke, especially when you go right there under that sweet spot, under that elbow, man, right there at the end of that rib cage. Ooh wee, baby, man, you talking about late effect? Oh, that was a late effect, and he felt it, and he didn't want no more. So that's all I got.
Yeah, man. Dude, like, bro, it was such an intriguing fight and good fight because I'm listening to the commentary, but the whole time what I was seeing was Victor Faust he was trying to keep the distance with his jab. He was landing some good shots on Perro, but I thought Perro was countering him well, and he was going to the body good all night long. And that's why y'all hear OG say a lot, man. And body shots is important because they have an effect on you long term. Like I firmly believe that he ended up hitting him and hurting him to the body because he made that investment the entire fight. Perro was going to the body the entire fight long, while Faust, he was landing some good right hands, keeping Perro off of him with the counter shots, and he hit him in the head. He even hurt Perro in the third round, but Perro just stayed the course, kept trying to counter, and he was landing those body shots specifically from the opening round. And I believe they probably will give us a report probably in the next day or two, but I think he might have cracked a rib or something because he hit him right.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I did read the report this morning. He did crack a rib.
Yep. See, I haven't even looked at it yet, but I could. Yeah. First of all, he hit him right under his chest, right there where your rib is at. In the way that he reacted, like shit, like I can't breathe, bro. Like that shit hurt him, man. That shit hurt him, and he couldn't recover from it. But Perro, man, and both of these guys, they're highly skilled amateurs. I don't know if y'all know this, but both of them was in the World Series of Boxing. Perro was a 2016 Olympian. So this was a prospect matchup that they're not as well known as Frank Martin, or they're not as well known as Michelle Rivera at the time. But these were two of the top heavyweight prospects, undefeated, that we had in boxing, that yet again got in the ring and did their thing. And you could tell it was a high stakes matchup. And Perro, like OG said, on their scorecards, he was only up on one scorecard and losing on the other two. So he was losing the fight at the time of the stoppage. But that's why you just keep going to the body and you stay the course, because it could have that effect on you to where now you done broke somebody's rib and you ended the fight. I mean, he hurt the dude to the body so bad, OG, that he hit him in the face like 3-4 times after that, and he didn't even care. And the crazy thing is, I know Victor Faust got a chin, because he didn't get hurt to the face at all. It had to be a body shot. But overall, I think Perro does need to work on leaning over his front foot. He got countered a lot. Faust, he stands straight up, and so he can't protect his body at all. So they both got a lot of things to work on. But I thought for it to be free for me on Showtime, that was a good opening fight. And I really enjoyed it. And I would hope that these prospects, they do more like this, like Michelle Rivera and Frank Martin, or like we saw with Frank Sanchez and F.A. Ajaga, man. These dudes need to fight each other so you can see just how good they really are. Lanier Perro, he's on to the next, and Faust, hopefully he heals up and they're able to and he builds himself back up. But I thought it was a really good heavyweight fight, and surprisingly, they were throwing a lot of punches. It was very active, like you said. They didn't do a lot of lateral movement, but those hands was active. And sometimes the heavyweights, they don't throw a whole lot, and it can be hard to call sometimes, but they made it easy to watch and easy for the OG to call. So I salute to them for that, and salute to Perro for having the heart to pull it out of the brink. He was on his way to losing his first fight, and he found the right shot at the right time, and now his story is totally different than what it looked like, man.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Shout out to Congo, man. I appreciate that, man. Now, knockout. Now, keep in mind, Pedro had a brother. He had a brother that fought in the prelims. You know, he had a brother that fought in the prelims, and his brother lost. His brother lost his fight, you know, but he won his. You know, so and they look like
I thought Daniil Perro won.
Did he win? I thought he lost that
fight. I thought he beat Zavala up.
Oh, okay.
He was fighting. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up just so we can make sure.
Yeah, look it up.
Get the people to write. Yeah, he won.
He won. Yeah, both.
He won. He beat the heck out of Daniel Zavala. He beat him up bad. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he beat him up bad. Yeah. So he good.
And keep in mind, they are from the same hometown as Luis Ortiz, same place. You know, come from the same little town in Cuba that he's from. So they making some.
Dante Hall in the building. Dante Hall got like what I'm about to bring up next. Dante Hall got like antennas up. It's like whenever you talk about or whenever you get ready to bring up Keyshawn Davis, Dante Hall gonna pop up like Candyman on your head. He gonna pop up like a boogeyman on your. I ain't seen Dante Hall all morning. I'm about to give you a story about Keyshawn Davis. And ask you what you think about it. And Dante Hall done slid in here like knock out. Now you better respect my boy. You better respect Keyshawn, man. Damn.
I hit that like button too, y'all.
Yeah, hit the like button when y'all come in the building. But let me ask you, man. We got 122 people and 70 likes. I know 50 some of y'all don't dislike me and the OG, man. Hit the like button one time, man. It's free. It's free, man. So then what I want to ask you, man. I'm scrolling through Twitter after the fight last night. I'm chilling, you know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson posts a tweet. He says, me and my brother taking shit over April 8th. And he got Keyshawn Davis and him together in the picture. Looks like they had just got done with some sparring. Now, maybe I'm a curmudgeon, OG. Maybe I'm old and I need to you know what I'm saying, broaden my horizons and get with the new way of thinking. But I'm looking at them take a picture today. They call themselves brother and they don't never want to fight each other and they all that, but they at the same weight class and they gonna be at the same weight class for the rest of their career, man. What we doing with this, man? I don't like it. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't like it. But what do you think of this new school? Like, that's my brother, that's my homie. We don't want to fight, even though we fight at the same weight class. So what if they champion at the same time, man? They just gonna not unify, like what you think of that, man?
You know, Bernard Hopkins, he touched on this. Now, I didn't agree with Bernard Hopkins with his comment. Not at all. I don't agree. But this part I do agree on. And that is these fighters are not made like the fighters of yesteryears. I'm sorry. They're just not. They're not made like that anymore. These two are friends. Yes. But that's okay. You can be friends, but you also can be opponents also in the ring. Both of you all can get paid. But when it comes down to fighting, don't call me. You don't call him, you don't call him. Then you talk to him after the fight because you got to fight the best. And if your friend is the best, then you got to get in there with the best. That's why I look at it. And now Keyshawn, now you know that you only got 7 or 8 fights. I think it's 7, 8 under your belt. You need a lot more than what you are because look how old you are and look how old Devin Haney is. You haven't even been in an eliminator yet, and Devin Haney is an undisputed champion. You need to do more than just run those mouths and rolling those eyes. You need to do more than that. You know, yeah, I get it. You like to run the mouth and talk that ish, but you need to do more than that. You need to get in there, get away from Terrence Crawford, get away from, well, you can't get away from Bomac, but still in all, you need to get in there and step it up. You talking about Gervonta Davis ain't fighting nobody. Well, when you going to have your step up fight? It's been 8 already. How long does it take? How long does it take? Now, I know Gervonta Davis, Floyd built him up. Boy built him up and made millions off of him and made him millions. How much Bob making off of you? How much Bob made for you? So what you need to do is don't worry about Shakur. Shakur doing his thing. Shakur doing his thing. Now you need to do your thing. That's what I think. And that's all I got. All right. And Robert Singleton in that super chat, baby. What's going on? He said, salute OG, KQKC, and to the homie KO. So proud of old Shacky. He's what boxing is all about. Went through struggles and early losses and became a champ. That's right.
Big facts.
Yes, sir. Facts.
Big facts, bro. I agree with everything you said, and that's why I wanted to ask you about it, because a lot of times you'll have the same mindset I have on it, bro. Like, I want to see a Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis fight one day, but they already telling me I ain't gonna get that shit, man. So I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like that shit, bro. Like that whole like friends and all that shit, man. Like I can't vibe with it. Like I need these dudes to want to fight each other. Like y'all can be cool, but like just me, like if I'm Keyshawn, like we can be cool or whatever, and I'll come spar with you sometimes and shit. But I know I might have to fight you one day, so I don't want to be cool with you like that. Like be cool with the people that you came up with, the people that you're friends with outside of boxing, or find you somebody that's in the weight class you'll never fight. All these damn fighters, like Keyshawn, you can be cool with Bud because y'all will never fight. Bud is way older than you. He like 2-3 weight classes above you. By the time you get to 147, his ass will probably be gone, bro. He'll probably be gone and won't be fighting no more. And so for me, bro, like when I see that shit, it just make me feel like I'm gonna miss out on the fight. So I don't like that shit. I really don't. I think that it's bad for the sport, to be honest with y'all, because they basically openly telling y'all that no matter what, if they both reach to where they want to reach, they both gonna be champion at the same time. So what are they telling us? That one of them gonna move up, or they gonna play hopscotch, one stay here, one go there? Like, nah, bro, I don't want to see that. If they happen to become the champion at the same time, I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight. I mean, and I heard what you're saying, Dante. But now they not brothers for real, bro. Keyshawn got two or three brothers already, man. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson got like 10 siblings already, man. They ain't brothers for real, bro. That friendly shit, nah, man. They need to fight, dog.
Like Earl Prince said, I'll fight Jermall. If it comes down to it, I'll fight him.
If the opportunity presents itself, they need to fight. The only people that don't need to be fighting is the Perro brothers that we saw last night. Is Keyshawn fighting one of his brothers, or Jermall fighting Jermall? Them the only people that don't need to fight, bro. Yeah. Them the only people that don't need to fight. That whole we brothers shit, like that's some shit people say. They ain't really brothers for real, man. They are friends, and you can be friends after. You can be friends after. I do teach. I see you teach. I will do KQKC bad in the debate, but I will do him bad. But KQ don't debate. So we ain't gonna debate. But if he ever wants smoke, teach, I got you. Don't you worry about it. If he ever want any smoke, I got you, teach, because I'm not the type to be like, hey man, I can't debate you. We too cool. I'll debate anybody. I don't care, teach. That's what we do. But I agree with everything you said, OG. It takes the sport to a place to where I don't want to see it go. Because now, what's to stop all these dudes from being like, nah, we cool, man. That's the reason we ain't fighting. We friends. What if Devin Haney and Tank Davis, after all this shit y'all been talking, what if Devin Haney and Tank Davis announce tomorrow that they homies and shit? Like, yeah, that's my homie. We gonna take it over together. Right. We don't want to fight no more. Y'all gonna be mad as shit. So now keep that same energy. And we don't want to see nobody cool to the point to where they don't fight. That's all I'm saying. Be cool, but I don't want to see you be cool to the point to where y'all don't fight, bro. That's all. That's basically what it boils down to, and that's all I got on it. OG, you got anything else on that, man?
No, but Robert, right? You had Shakur fighting Heron. So there you go. I mean, they was friends. Bomac, that whole group, was friends. But he had to get in there and fight Jermall Heron, and he pretty much beat him. So. Throw that friend stuff out the window when it comes to making money. All right, making money and fighting the best. If your friend is the best, then let's go in there and see. So that's how I look at it. So that's all I got on that.
100% facts, man. So something else that I wanted to get to with you. Let me find the story real quick. It was something else I wanted to get to. Oh yeah. Bill Haney. Then we'll get to the next fight. We'll get to the next fight after this, y'all. So Bill Haney went off on Bernard Hopkins, man.
Yes, I saw that.
He went off on Bernard Hopkins on Fight Hype. Basically, he said he lost touch with reality. he was mad because Bernard Hopkins said that Devin ain't like him, and he was like ain't built like him. This is what OG was alluding to. And Bill Haney went off, protected his son. He said he's right. Devin ain't like him. He don't drink. He don't smoke. He makes weight, and he's a world champion. And when Devin was 23 years old, he became undisputed world champion. When you were 23 years old, you were in jail for being a cat burglar, and just really went in on Bernard Hopkins and how him and a lot of these older fighters, how they hate on the younger generation and don't give them their props. And how Bernard Hopkins is a fucking greeter. He called him a greeter for Golden Boy. Said he tried to talk to him about making a fight, and he ain't got no power to make a fight. He ain't nothing but a greeter, and he basically, he a sellout just because he making money off of Golden Boy. So I know you saw it, OG. What you think of Bill Haney, man, and what he had to say about Bernard Hopkins' comments on Devin Haney, man?
You know what? Bill Haney is being a father. He is being a father. He's been a trainer. And he is taking up for his fighter. He's taking up for his son. And yes, Bernard Hopkins is very good at doing things like that. Not only taking shots at Al Heyman, taking shots at other fighters. And Bill is right. Bernard Hopkins, you wasn't a champion till you were 30 years old. You were 30 years old. And you want people to be like you. Well, you didn't materialize anything. You didn't make anything out your life. You didn't got no sneaker contract. You don't have anything, a doll or anything of your liking. What have you done but being an assistant at Golden Boy? That's it. Yes, you had something to do with the Muhammad Ali Act. Yes, that's it. No more, no less. But look at Devin. Devin is a undisputed champion, the youngest. Now, can you beat that? No. Matter of fact, Bill is right. Devin next fight gonna make more than you made in your whole damn life. So sometimes, like your mama say, or your grandmama, if you can't say something good, don't say nothing at all. That's what you need to do. And stay in your lane. And I'm talking about right behind Oscar. That's your lane. That's what you believe. That's what you need to be. Right there. Sometimes, some of these fighters, and I'm talking about your favorite fighter from yesteryears, all right? Now, they got some kind of like a jealousy side, all right? They got like a jealousy side of these young fighters. Why? Because these young fighters, they making money, they hungry, and they want to fight the best. But back then, yes, I get it. You were making money just to eat. I get that. Yes, you were getting robbed too at the same time. But this is what life is all about. You evolved. You evolve. You learn, you listen, and you prosper. That's what Floyd Mayweather did. He signed a contract and he didn't care. He just signed it because that's the most money he ever seen coming from Michigan. But then once he knew the business side, and then he learned and understood. And now look at him now. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire now. So, yes, Bill did the right thing. Now, Bill did the right thing not only as a father, but as a trainer and a very important person at DHP. So I think he did the right thing. I think Bernard Hopkins need to sit down and shut up. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree overall with Bill Haney's sentiment. Number one, the only thing I can disagree with is I wouldn't call Devin Haney a better fighter than Bernard Hopkins, but he can be. I mean, if he continue on the trajectory, and we'll see when his career is done, what he's able to accomplish. But right now, historically, no, I don't think he's better than Bernard. But him being an overall better person, I mean, shit, like Bill Haney's right, and Bernard Hopkins. The thing is, what people will lose in context, Bernard Hopkins and Devin Haney's and Bill Haney's comments, they aren't created equal. And the reason they're not created equal because Bill Haney was responding to Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins' shit was unprovoked. Like Devin didn't say shit about Bernard Hopkins. He wasn't talking shit about him, didn't say nothing bad about him. And Bernard Hopkins just came and started talking about Devin out the side of his neck. Everything that you hear Bill Haney say, although it may be funny, although it may be, insulting to Bernard Hopkins, well, Bernard Hopkins started the shit. So they comments on each other, they not created equal. Like if you it's almost like self-defense. If you come attack me, if you attack me and I defend myself and I end up hurting you, then I'm not just as wrong as you. Shit, you started the shit. So you get what you get for starting shit. It's the same thing with Bernard Hopkins. Like, you started this shit. You started talking all this bullshit and you said all these things about Devin Haney. Now you and your fans or whomever, Devin Haney haters, Bill Haney haters, y'all can't get mad at Bill for firing back at Bernard because that shit was unprovoked. Bill didn't say nothing about him, and Devin didn't say nothing about him. Like, Bill didn't come out until Bernard Hopkins said something. He didn't let us know that Bernard. I mean, we all knew it, but he didn't say nothing about how Bernard Hopkins ain't have no power at Golden Boy and how he was this and how he was that. He didn't call him old buddy off of Django and shit, and basically call him a house Negro. Like, he didn't do that. He didn't do that until Bernard Hopkins came out the side of his neck and started talking about his son. And any of us that are parents or got anybody that we love, period, we gonna take up for ours, bro. Yeah. You ain't gonna do that, and then we gonna point out to you the hypocrisy in your comment. Like, number one, your story is written, Devin's story is not written. Number two, if you want to go by what you were doing at 23 and what Devin is doing at 23, 100% of parents, I don't care who they are, white, black, blue, green, orange, yellow, Mexican, Asian, Colombian, whatever they are, 100% of us would be like, hey, you got a choice. At 23 years old, your child could be Devin Haney, or at 23 years old, your child could be Bernard Hopkins. All of us are choosing Devin Haney. All of us will be like, nah, I want my son or my daughter to be a multimillionaire, never been to jail, and be highly successful at what they do. We are not gonna be like, nah, bro, I want my kid to be in the streets, never accomplish nothing, and I want him to be in jail at 23 years old. No one is gonna say that, bro. So for you to act like that, bro, that shit was totally out of bounds and totally unprovoked. Like, what he need to be focused on is trying to figure out how Ryan Garcia gonna make this fight with Tank Davis. That's what he need to be focused on. They need to be focused on Virgil Ortiz and Zerto Ramirez bouncing back and shit like that. They need to quit. They need to quit trying to focus on other people, bro. Like, it's like every time I hear somebody from Golden Boy, whether it's Oscar or Bernard, every time I hear them talk, bro, it's always about somebody else fighter. Yeah, they got that shit. They got that shit bad, bro. You can never put Bernard Hopkins in front of a camera and he talking about Golden Boy fighters. I hear him talking about Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Devin Haney, all these other dudes, but I never hear that man talking about something that they got going on at Golden Boy, bro. Hardly ever do I hear Bernard Hopkins doing that, bro. And what up, Key? I see you, bro. And so that's where I'm at with it, man. I thought it was out of bounds. I thought Bill Haney was spot on, and I thought he had some good comebacks for him, man. Yeah, I thought he hit him where it hurt. So I'm with that shit. If you gonna come out there and disrespect that young man like that, then you deserve everything that's coming with it. That's right. Yeah, like I say, if you ain't got nothing good and say, then just keep your mouth closed. You know, facts, bro. Facts, 100% facts. Shout out to Pierre Jahar. Yes, sir, with that cash up. Pierre, what up, Pierre? Salute, bro. Right. And shout out to Mark West and that cash app. I appreciate you, my brother. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, I got one too, real quick. Oh, yeah, that's Mark West too. Mark West, I appreciate you in that cash app, bro. Thank you so much, man. All right, appreciate you. Yes, sir. All right, what's up? Everything Boxing is in the building. Rick Hill is up in here. What's going on? And A_BZ713 is in the building. All right, appreciate you. All right, all right. So let's get to the co-main event real quick. Let's talk about Mario Barrios and what he did to Giovanni Santiago. What you got on that fight, man? Man, I have to admit, Mario Barrios, he looked it pretty good. He looked it sharp. His punching was pretty much right on point. But when he had Santiago hurt or had him against the ropes, I think he was rushing himself a little bit. I think he got a little bit too excited because he was missing all those punches. Now, he had an opportunity to go in there and make some punches count and pretty much put him weak at the knees, baby. But he didn't do that. He kind of rushed it the first time. The first time now I'm talking about. He rushed it. He didn't take his time and go downstairs, go upstairs, and mixed up his punches. He didn't do that. So he allowed Santiago to get off the ropes and bring it back to the center
of the ring. And then, of course, Santiago is still a live dog now. He's still a live dog. Now, he got hurt for a minute, but he shook it off. He shook it off, and he back in the live dog, and he back at it again. Now, Mario Barrio, yes, he is taller than Santiago, but he was trying to fight smaller than Santiago. Now, he'll get down low, he'll bend his knees, and then he come up tall. Now, of course, he was working the body when he go down low. Then he go up top and still go head hunting. Well, he should have still focused on that body. Why? Because he was cutting off the ring and Santiago was giving him a lot of lateral movement. He needed to stop that lateral movement. He had plenty of time. It wasn't no rush. You coming off a loss. You coming off a knockout. So it's no rush. You want to make this count and you want to look good. Because remember, before this fight started, he said, hey, look, I need something to prove. I need to prove something. I need to prove that when I was at 140, that was the wrong fight. That was the wrong fight, and I was weight drained. So he came out, and like I said, he needed to take his time. But like I said, he was sharp, and he was fast. And then he finally came out and finished him. You know, that's what he did. He finally came out and finished him, and with sharp punches, going downstairs, going upstairs, and mixing up his attack. And that's what he did. Now, he did everything right. Now, I have to admit, Santiago wasn't as strong as Barrio, because Barrio was a stronger fighter. But that was just the fight that he needed. Knockout. That was just the fight that he needed to get that confidence and get back on track. Now, what he gonna do at 147? See, 147, the glamour division, that's a deep division. Not count Earl, not count not count Terrence, but you still got Stanley Onis down there. You still got Ortiz down there, and probably Keith Thurman too. You know, so I mean, you got a long ways to climb. You got a very long ways to climb, Barrio. So, I mean, you know, you're going to have to climb that ladder, baby. Climb that ladder like every other fighter do. And then make yourself relevant, get into eliminated, boom, and go for a championship. That's what he need to do. But 147, you in a tough division. 140 is a tough division. So, I mean, what do you expect? So, but you're going to have to put on a better performance than that the next time you go out at 147. So,
yeah, man. When I was watching Barrios put hands on Giovanni Santiago, my first thought was, damn, this is the dude that I felt like beat AB. This Santiago dude is a dude that got in there with Adrian Broner and made him look bad. I like, God damn, bro. My, how the mighty have fallen. But Barrios did a good job controlling the range, controlling the distance, use his jab and his footwork better. And I told people when we did the picks, I was like, I don't know why they got this fight so close. They only had Barrios as like a minus 500 favorite or something. I was like, nah, he could be like a minus 1,000 or something like that. Like he should have been a huge favorite in this fight. And it showed. Santiago was just slow to the punch. He's a journeyman. He's really there to survive. He'll throw punches with you, but he has no defense. And Barrios, he can slip and counter real good against guys on Santiago level. He got a good jab for guys like that. He just struggled with the upper echelon, and that's okay. Like, he's just not an A-level fighter, but he a solid B. You know what I'm saying? A solid B minus. So if you a C or a D and you ain't supposed to be in there with him, and you a journeyman, Mario Barrios will beat your ass up. And that's what he did to Santiago. He mixed his punches up well. He was able to hit him in the body, hit him in the head. I love his left hook, right hand over the top combination. Barrios looked good. He looked good in that fight against Santiago, but like you said, and like I agree with, I saw what Keith Thurman did to you, bro. So if you get up there to 147 and you get in there with the wrong person, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, for Mario Barrios fans, I'm sure y'all really like him or whatever, but I don't think he's gonna be champion, man. He ain't gonna be champion. He not about to have a resurgence. He just ain't ran into the right one again yet. When he runs into the right one, they're gonna do him like Tank did him. They're going to do him like Keith Thurman did him, because he still fights real tall. His body is wide open to be hit, and he don't have head movement at the high level. Like, he can do some slips and shit against somebody like Santiago, but at the high level, when you fighting guys with way better timing, that's faster, that's powerful and shit, He ain't on that level. He can't get there. You know what I mean? He's somebody you put in there, and Rick Hill just said it. I just saw the comment. He's somebody that you put in there with your prospect or your contender when you want to make sure that they really are what they supposed to be. That's what Mario Barrios said. When you want to give them a name, when you got an up and coming contender or whatever, that you want to be like, all right, bro, I want to compare him to what Keith Thurman did to him, or I want to compare him to what Tank Davis did to him, and you want to see if your guy can beat him in a worse fashion or beat him more convincingly. That's what Mario Barrios is. Solid gatekeeper level guy at 147 with a pretty good name right now that is a good victory in your cap if you're up and coming prospect. That's what I think of him, man. But I thought he did a good job against Giovanni Santiago. Not taking nothing away from him. Thought he did a good job, got a good victory so that he can get those types of fights and get back to making more money. So shout out to him, man. He did his thing. I ain't got nothing bad to say. He put on for San Antonio. Yeah. They had the fight in San Antonio where he's from. So good little hometown fight for him to do his thing. So shout out to him. That's really all I got on him, man.
Oh yeah. That's basically all I have because, like I said, he was looking sharp and big improvement from the last fight. But I will say this: changing trainers from Virgil Hunter to I believe his name was Santos.
Yeah, Bob Santos, the same dude that trained Hector Luis Garcia, and he trained Perro too.
Okay, and it takes a while to get acclimated to that trainer. So that shows you that, okay, Barrios had this in him a long time, and he just wasn't applying it because, it takes a while to get to that trainer and get that chemistry going and so on and so on. So, I mean, shout out to him for that, and he did a great job. So, and that's all I have on him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So let's get to it. Before we talk about whether or not we're going to get an announcement on Super Bowl day or the day after Super Bowl or whatever it is, I got to talk to you about what happened. So we all know during the week that Oscar De La Hoya came out, made a fuss, said that the rematch clause they agreed to, and the only holdup was that if Ryan wins and Tank wants his rematch, they want Ryan to be the A side, and you had some people that agree with that, some people that disagree with it. But then after that, this is what happened. So it was reported by multiple outlets that Tank Davis and his team sent Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya the contract back with the demands that they were asking for. Right? Send them back with the demands they were asking for, saying that Ryan would be that Golden Boy could be the lead promoter if Tank Davis loses and activates his rematch clause, and that it was supposed to be signed that day, and that basically that they had gave Oscar everything that he said he wanted in order to make the fight. Oscar came back, and this is what he said. He said, "I remain focused and determined on finalizing Tank versus King Rye. Contrary to leaked reports about the rematch clause, there's still a couple of points with strings attached that need to be ironed out." So now it went from it's just a rematch clause. They sent him back the updated rematch clause that he was asking for, and now he's saying there's a couple of more points that need to be addressed. So what do you think of all that, man? Like, what's your thoughts on this fight? Are we getting this fight? Is Oscar just trying to see what he can get, or is he trying to make PBC walk away from the table? I got my beliefs, but I want to hear what you think, man.
Well, my belief is this, and this is concrete. I believe that Oscar don't want this fight. Oscar's the holdup of this fight. Now, Ryan wants this fight. Now, he's that confident, or maybe he want a big payday. I don't know. It don't matter to me why he want it, but he wants it. Gervonta Davis, he wants it. Whatever you have to do, my team, get it done. But Oscar wants this rematch, this and that. Hey, Tank said, give it to him. Then now Oscar got another issue. Then next time it might be another issue. And then he comes out with this phony, and I know it's phony, with this, oh, well, if this don't work out, we got to reach this program. No. You mean to tell me that you're going to work with Richard Schaefer, the one that ran your company while you were somewhere drunk? No, that ain't going to work. Richard Schaefer and you haven't spoken in years. No, that's not going to happen. Because remember, Regis is with Probellum. And, Golden Boy and Probellum don't work together. They don't mesh. All right, and you know that, Oscar, and you know that you don't want this fight to take place because you know that this is your bread and butter right now. Now, yes, you might be dependent on Ortiz, but Ortiz is fighting Stanionis, and that can go either way right now. I look at that fight as a 50-50 fight right now. And then what you gonna do then? You already lost Canelo. Now, what are you gonna do? Now, I have to admit, yes, Floyd did squeeze out the dollars out of Tank. Now you trying to squeeze the dollar out of Ryan. I mean, you trying to get all that orange juice out that orange, but it's not going to happen because Ryan has been better. He gotten better, and what I hear, he punching harder now. And hey, Gervonta Davis, yes, he taking every fight seriously. You got to take every fight seriously because you never know what can happen. This is boxing. Y'all seen that last night. But Oscar, I believe you are the holdup. Stop playing around and get the fight done. Like my words on my man Ricky Williams. Man, make the damn fight. Stop playing around. Now, if you're going to leak information, like Steven Espinosa said, stop jumping the gun. Wait till we get everything done. And they was getting everything done, and it was done. But here come Oscar again. He got problems. And now he got another problem. And then it was the rematch clause. Of course, if you ain't familiar, if you've been under a rock for the last week, well, Gervonta Davis, if he loses, he get a rematch clause. But still, they are want to put on a production on Showtime. Now, Steven Espinosa said, hey, look here. We're going to give DAZN a piece of the pie, but we're going to get the bigger slice of the pie because Gervonta Davis is still the A side. Now, of course, they don't agree with that. But he's getting it done, and he's getting it done. And like Gervonta Davis said, give them what they want. But that ain't good because Oscar got something else he got a problem with. So Oscar is to hold up KO. He is to hold up, and I believe that he needs to step out the way and let somebody, maybe Gomez or somebody, handle this negotiation. Because if he don't be careful, we might not get this fight either.
Yeah,
we already seen the ship almost sail with the Crawford fight in Spain. We don't even know the date of Lomachenko and Devin. And now we wait on a date with Spence and Thurman if it's gonna be a date. And then you got this clown. You got this clown now. And all these fights I just named are good damn fights. Stop playing, Oscar. Stop playing with us. All right? We paid our hard-earned money to watch these pay-per-views because that's what it's going to be. So stop playing around and go on and get it done. So
facts, bro.
That's all I have on it.
I mean, so I told people, man. I told people that this is what he was trying to do. And if you needed all of this to happen just so you could know that Oscar was ducking, then you haven't been paying attention. If this is what it took for you to know and you didn't know based off of what he was asking for that he was ducking, then you just ain't paying attention, bro. So for me, when I seen Oscar De La Hoya write this number one, he says contrary to leaked reports about the rematch clause, when he's the motherfucker that leaked it, bro. What are you talking about? Leaked reports about the rematch clause. You the one that talked about how the rematch clause was the issue, bro. You brought that shit up. And then this is why they should have never gave in to him, because now he's just asking for more shit. It's clear that he just is trying his best to ask for some shit that PBC finally says, you know what, nah, bro, we're going to go in another direction because you tripping. We're just going to go in another direction because you tripping. Because at the end of the day, he just looking for some PR shit to where he can blame them when the fight falls through. He doesn't really want this fight, like you said, OG. And for people to be like, yeah, man, Tank sent that shit. Now we know he really wanted to fight, and it's Oscar. You should have known that Oscar didn't want to fight when he was asking for the rematch clause and that A-side shit in the first place. When I gave you all the historical data that shit ain't never happened before, that people don't do that shit. You should have known that shit when you saw what happened with Jaime Munguia and Jermall Charlo. You should have known that this is the type of shit that he was on, bro. And so for me, I wish that he wasn't a part of the process. I wish that we could get this fight. But I'm telling y'all right now, based on what he's saying, bro, it looked like he is looking for something else to try to figure out that he can ask for that they won't agree to. He doesn't want this fight for Ryan Garcia. And I got to say, I'm gonna throw this at y'all, right? A lot of people were saying that Ryan Garcia really wants to fight, but it's just Oscar. But if Ryan Garcia really wants to fight, somebody in the chat correct me if I'm wrong. If we're not gonna put it on Ryan Garcia, doesn't he have the ability through the Muhammad Ali Act to tell Oscar De La Hoya, "No, this is the best possible fight I could get. This is the most money that I could make. You can't block me from this fight," and he can go ahead and take the fight anyway if he really wanted it? Can he not do that through the Muhammad Ali Act? So I would say if he don't take the fight, he's complicit, because we all know that no matter what's going on with Ryan Garcia, no matter what he says or what he does, there's no fight bigger for him than Tank Davis.
Yeah,
there's no fight bigger for him than Tank Davis at all, bro. There's no fight bigger for him than Tank Davis. So if you take another fight for less money, don't that just mean that you complicit? If that's what the Muhammad Ali Act really said, that's what y'all be telling me. When it comes to Tank Davis and Devin Haney, y'all told me that if Devin had a bigger offer and a better offer, that he could take that offer because the Muhammad Ali Act, and that means Tank Davis is ducking. So does that not mean the same thing for Ryan, or we just picking and choosing? And I told y'all this shit would happen, bro. I remember arguing with my brothers. I told y'all they were asking for some shit they weren't asking for the shit because they want to make the fight. They was asking for the shit because they wanted PBC to walk away first. And y'all was like, "No, knockout, that only makes sense. If he win, he should be the A side. That ain't asking for too much. That's fair. That's this, that's that." And then the moment they give it to him, he starts saying that it's more shit. And I told y'all that shit was gonna happen. And now, bro, that's some shit you don't agree to. If he asking for that, that means he don't really want the fight. But no, knockout. Y'all ain't want to listen to knockout. Y'all ain't want to listen to me. And now we see where we at. The man they done gave him what he asked for. They done gave up more leverage, which they shouldn't have done. Like I told y'all they shouldn't have done. They gave that shit up, and did it get him to fight? Did they sign the shit and did they announce the shit? Or did he start doing some more bullshit and asking for more shit? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like that shit. Miss me with that, bro. So they all complicit in this bullshit, man. I don't care what y'all tell me, but it's the same. This the same Ryan Garcia. He talking good right now, but that man was the interim champion. That man pulled out of multiple fights and shit. Like, nah, bro, I'm not with that. I'm not with that shit. I'm not with that shit. Whatever. I'm not trusting him, bro. I'm not trusting him. I don't trust Oscar. I don't trust nobody that's fucking with Oscar, to be real with y'all. I think this been a ploy all along, bro. And like I told y'all, Tank Davis need to have a backup plan. He need to have a motherfucking backup plan, bro. He need to have a backup plan, have somebody ready to fight, because I saw this bullshit coming a mile away. A mile away, man. If you couldn't see it, then that's on you, man. But y'all will start listening soon enough, man. That's all I got on it, though, bro. Oscar De La Hoya, Ryan Garcia, they pulled the wool over our eyes once again, bro.
Yeah.
Once again with this bullshit. If it gets announced today or tomorrow, I will be highly surprised, and I'll never be more happy to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Right. I 100% hope I'm wrong, bro. But I've been telling y'all they was doing this shit, and as the A side, they shouldn't even have to acquiesce to this shit. But they had to do it for some of y'all just to prove that they really wanted to fight. It's never, and that's my thing, and I'll be quiet about it, OG. That's my thing. Tank Davis had to do all of this shit to prove that he wanted to fight, but he supposed to be the A side. And I told y'all this B side shit was making all these damn stupid ass demands, and they really was acting like they wanted some shit that we know that they didn't want, that they know they shouldn't have been asking for in the first place. And y'all argue me up and down, bro. Y'all argue me up and down, and then what happened? When you give in to their ass, now what? Oh, they really don't want the fight. Now some more shit. Now the person that leaked the shit is talking about contrary to leak reports when he's the one that leaked reports. The person that told all of us, lying out the side of his neck, that it was only the rematch clause that was holding up the fight. Now he's saying it's a couple more points and it's a couple more issues. So he lied about that shit. He lied about it being, oh, if you win, then you're supposed to be the A side if you win. When I watch him be the A side over Shane Mosley 2 times after he lost to him the first time, I gave y'all Mike Tyson Holyfield example. I gave y'all the fucking example of Joshua and Ruiz. I gave y'all Pacquiao and Bradley. I gave you all the examples to point you in the right direction, and you still ain't want to listen to me. Maybe y'all listen to me now, bro. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. See, Ryan has a habit, and this is not his fault. I believe it's not. I believe this is all on Oscar. But see, when you have a track record, and this is what I was telling Ryan, if he was listening, stop lying so much. And now your lies, even though you haven't done anything, people are starting to say that you are involved, which you're not, I don't believe. Because see, when you're lying on Manny Pacquiao, and when you're lying and say you find this person, when you're lying and saying you find that person, then you know what? Once a liar, always a liar. Now, guilty or not, you're gonna have to hold that bar. But even though it's not your fault, this is Oscar. This is all Oscar. And I believe that he really gonna try to get out this fight. But I believe some way, somehow, that Ryan's gonna tell him, look, get the fight done, and I want it done now. That's
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, but I can't help, because when I be looking at the shit, OG, I can't help but wonder if and I hope you're right about this. I hope you're right that he gonna push it, he gonna get the fight done. But I can't help but wonder if that's the case. When Oscar said that bullshit, how come Ryan ain't call his ass out? Ryan was so quick. See, and this is where I be trying to read between. He was so quick. Oh, Tank Davis, get rid of the rematch clause. You a liar. You a coward. You this, you that. Right? He was so quick. But when Oscar tells the people, right, that we can all see is a lie. Oh, it's just a rematch clause. But then he come back and he say, oh, now it's a couple of more points. How come Ryan ain't checking his promoter, bro? If he's not complicit in the shit, how come he ain't saying nothing to Oscar? How come he ain't saying, hold up, Oscar, what the fuck? Like, nah, it was only supposed to be one thing. What you talking about? Right. I told you to sign it as it. How come he ain't fighting and pleading for the fight on social media? He do everything else on social media. That's why I say he complicit, bro. That's why I say he going along with it, because you got so much other shit to say. But everybody in the world with a brain can see that your promoter on bullshit, and you quiet right now. Now all of a sudden you ain't the Twitter king. You ain't the Instagram king no more. Nah, bro, he complicit. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. If he wasn't complicit, he'd be going in on Oscar saying, no, I need this fight. We said it was only this. They agreed to it. I'm not trying to hear that shit, man. I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. Go ahead. Go ahead, OG.
Robert Singleton, what's good, baby? He's in that super chat once again. He said, at this point, F Ryan, B Hop, and Oscar. I know a boxer who will take the Tank fight right away, and his name is Frank Martin. I would be happy to drop $80 on that fight. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. Yes, sir. And appreciate that support, Robert Singleton. All right. Yes, sir. And we got a Kitty Nature in the building. He's in that super chat also. He said, instead of talking behind closed doors, Arthur goes to social media. That was the problem with Steven Espinosa. Listen, stop. Hold up. And same Cap and Bud did. The same thing that Bud did. If you want it, make it happen. Stop the social media cap. You're right. And that's why I said Bud Crawford sounds like a dummy. He wants to put negotiations on YouTube so everybody can see Al Heyman and them doing a negotiation for the Earl Spence fight. I mean, what a dumb ass. Who will sit there and do that? All right, negotiations supposed to take place behind closed doors. It's nobody's business how much you get paid or Earl getting paid, what this and what that is. We don't need to see it on contract. All we need to see is the fight. So yeah, you're right, Achilles Nader, and you're right, Mr. Singleton. So
just announce the fight, bro. That's
right.
Like
That's
I'm tired of this. We agreed to everything, and then the fight don't
Right.
get announced, bro. This is like the second time in the two biggest fights since 2022 and 2023. You saw that shit with Spence and Crawford, and we seeing the shit with Ryan and Tank. That shit is horrible, man.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
And it's not over with yet, because look at Lomachenko. I mean, look at his little ass. Him and Devin. I mean, ain't nobody got no date that I know of. Well, ain't nothing carved in stone. I mean, come on. I mean, what we doing here?
Where the announcement said, hopefully they come this week after the Super Bowl, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't hold my breath. And but let's get to the last fight, man. We got 10 minutes, man. Shakur Foster, bro. Shakur Foster versus Ray Vargas, man. Shakur Foster came through and did his thing, man. What you got on that fight?
Man, what I got on it is Shakur Foster, he matured. Okay, I would have to say that. That was a very mature fight for him, a very methodically thought out fight for him. As I said, he has a backstory. He has came a long ways. Remember, he was at Texas Correctional Facility when he saw Terrence Crawford go undisputed against Indongo. And a light popped in his head. Now, I don't care where you at. I don't care who did what. But when a light pop in your head, tell a young man, look, get your shit together. And he got it together. He got it together and he came out. He worked hard. And then he got a chance to fight for a strap in the super featherweight division. And that's what he did. He took his time and he pretty much put himself, I'm talking about his body, in a position where Vargas couldn't hit him flush. And what I mean by that is that he wasn't doing a shoulder roll. He was doing a semi, maybe 3/4 a turn where that Vargas couldn't get to the body. So he protected his body very well. So you get a B for defense. That's great defense. So Vargas want to show his hand speed. He want to show that, oh, I'm fast too. So Vargas, now, O'Shaquie was getting hit with that left jab and overhand right by Vargas. Why? Because Vargas is a little linky, right? They got the same reach, a 71-inch reach, but they Vargas is a little lanky, you know, kind of long, and that's why his jab got there first. But Faust walked him down. Most fighters that get walked down, they panic, right? They panic when they get that pressure put on them. And guess what? They start throwing anything out. Or they jump out and clinch. They don't want to get that pressure on them. Then they reset. But here comes Faust again. Soon the referee get out the way, he's right back on him. He's bagging up the bigger fighter. And O'Shaquie Faust jump in with the left. And then he come in with the left again. Then he come in with the right and left and overwhelm him. You know, so O'Shaquie Faust had a good game plan. He tried to make him panic, and he did panic in a couple of instances. And then he tried to get out the way. So, like I say, Shakur Faust, he thought about this fight, and they came up with a great game plan. He didn't do a lot of lateral movement. Like I told everyone that I have seen this young man fight since Showbox, Showtime and Stream. And he used to give a lot of lateral movement. Matter of fact, half of the fight was due with lateral movement. But now you saw maturity last night. You saw a young man that now starting to grow up, starting to know the sweet science, and starting to pretty much know what he has to take to win. Now, sometimes you know when you have to move and when you have to stand there and fight. And that's what he did last night. I ain't mad at him. What he did was he picked his shots. Now, of course, he did have Vargas pretty much on the back foot and pretty much trying to throw double rights, double lefts, and they wasn't scoring. Nobody's home. I mean, he couldn't land not one shot because O'Shaquie was jumping in the pocket and jumping out of the pocket and then come back in again and work that stick. And that's what he did the whole fight. And he was scoring. And so, but that's all I got on that, really, because that was a good fight. And I'm not no complaints.
Yeah, it was a real good fight, and I told people, man, that's why if I could just real quick, man, that's why I say if you want those predictions early, you got to become a member to the channel, because everything in that fight and everything in every fight this week that I told you guys would happen and were keys to the fight, that's what happened. And the main thing that I saw was Ray Vargas from fighting at 122 pounds up to 126 and then now up to 130 pounds. He's always been the longer, taller guy. And so he fights like that. Well, when he fights O'Shaquie Foster's arm reach is just as long or a little bit longer than his. So those things that you were able to get away with when you're the longer fighter, you know, going out of exiting out of exchanges with your chin straight up in the air, just using your head, using your legs and trying to duck your head back. All that shit he was able to get away with at 122 and 126. You could see in the fight, he couldn't get away with it with O'Shaquie Foster. So when Vargas was trying to exit exchanges and have his head up in the air. What was O'Shaquie doing? He was following him out behind his jab, throwing the right hand behind it, and he was able to land because Ray Vargas didn't have the distance that he thought he had. And then if you look at it from a defensive perspective, O'Shaquie Foster was actually able to use distance control and manage the range on Ray Vargas, and he made Ray Vargas reach a lot because he was just as long and just as rangy, and he was able to keep that jab out there and keep his distance, and he had the faster, quicker feet. And so as a result, he outboxed him the entire fight. I had him winning like 5 of the first 6 rounds, and then he won all 3 of the last 10, 11, and 12. I had him winning, and the main thing was Ray Vargas, for the first time in his career, he didn't have the physical advantages that he was used to having, and he wasn't able to adjust to that. He wasn't able to adjust to O'Shaquie Foster being able to hit him from the same distance that he could hit him from. And then we know Ray Vargas, if he get on the inside, he can't fight on the inside. He slaps with his punches. He looks to hold you and wrestle you, and he try to put his head down low because he used to having like, okay, if I get inside, I want the ref to break us up because I need to get back at range because that's where my advantages is. Well, he kept trying to do that, but he didn't have any advantages at range, and as a result, he got his head boxed off his goddamn ears and shit, man. So salute to O'Shaquie Foster. I thought that he put on a great performance, saw it coming, and I'm just happy for him with everything that he's been through, the prison stint, the troubles in his early career. This is the type of stories and the type of things that got me into boxing. So to see him overcome and be able to triumph and become a world champion, man, I was really, really happy for him. And he did it against an undefeated guy who was a multiple division champion. He's the first guy to take his O. And it was a great accomplishment, man. And I was very excited for O'Shaquie Foster. And he showed, and we say this, and I think sometimes it can be cliche and people just say shit because they heard other people say it. But when y'all hear, and I know a lot of y'all know this, but when y'all hear weight classes matter for a reason, these are the types of fights that people that really study the sport, these are the types of fights that they talk about. Because if you think about it, for all of Ray Vargas' accomplishments, for everything he did at 122 pounds and then at featherweight, if you really want to boil down this fight to just one sentence, O'Shaquie Foster is not the first person you want to fight coming up to 130 from a smaller weight class. That's really all that it was, y'all. Is O'Shaquie Foster should not be your first fight when you coming all the way up from 122. When you started your career at 122 and you make your way to 130, O'Shaquie Foster is not the first 130 pounder that you want to fight. And we saw that in the ring last night, bro. And that's really all I got on it, man.
Okay. All right. Okay. Like I say, congratulations on O'Shaquie Foster, and hopefully we'll see more of him to come. And like I say, he's getting better. And I just want to touch on one more thing, if I may. Anthony Joshua. Okay. I want to say this. Yes, Derrick James is his trainer for the Jermaine Franklin fight on April the 1st at the O2 Arena. Don't expect to see Anthony Joshua come out there a new Anthony Joshua. That's not going to happen. Okay.
You saying Derrick James ain't a miracle worker, man?
All right. He's a great trainer, but he can't work miracles, not in no one fight. Now, of course, you're going to have to get the chemistry together. You're going to have to pretty much get the program together. Like you said, Frank Martin got it just like that. But you have Anthony Joshua. He has been under McCracken tutelage ever since the amateurs. So he has a certain style that he has to break. So you might see it in maybe the third fight, maybe. Or, like you say, he's not a surgeon. So he cannot rebuild his heart. And Anthony Joshua going to have to find his heart, because he's going to have to put that dog in his heart. And right now, I don't see Anthony Joshua got that dog in him yet. And that's what's missing. But I think that Derrick James is going to get him enough, because he got to work fast, because we are in February. All right, he's going to have to work fast and get him on a program where he can pretty much snap that jab a little more and be a little more faster with his punches. Slowly but surely, he can get there. So now, Manny Robles, yes, he did have a problem. He think he should fight Robert Garcia. I mean, he should have stayed with Robert Garcia, but we know what's the reason. Just like Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez said Ryan Garcia is going to knock out Gervonta Davis. Why he say that, y'all? And he admit why he said it. Because he sticks with his Mexican brothers. Now, if we would have said that, we would have got in some trouble. We would have got, oh man, he being racist. Oh, right? But Oscar Valdez said, look at another record. All right, I'm gonna fight him, but I'm rooting for him. Why? Because he's my Mexican brother. All right. See, they stick together, and we got to start sticking together. That's what I'm saying. Now, there's nothing wrong with that to root for another ethnic group. There's nothing wrong with that. But Oscar Valdez said, "Hey, I'm sticking with Ryan Garcia. I believe he's gonna knock out Gervonta Davis. I know it's a long shot, but hey, I know, and I seen him up front. He is strong. So, but that's all I had, and that's all I wanted to say. All right,
Man, I agree. I agree with everything you just said. I would just say, like OG said, y'all. I know a lot of people in the chat because of being Earl Spence fans. I know you got mad love for Derrick James and shit. I know that everybody think Derrick James is the goddamn miracle man. He Gordon Bombay off the Mighty Ducks and shit. Like he that dude. He can take anybody and make them the best. Hey man, look. Can't get no heart transplant, man, unless you go to the Wizard of Oz. And last I checked, that motherfucker don't exist. That's not a real story. So I would just say temper your expectation with Anthony Joshua, number one. And then, like you said, man, there's nothing wrong with going for your own people, but as long as you want to fight them. And even in going for them, don't even mean you have to pick them. Like, you can say, like, hey, man, I really want this person to win, but my objectivity is telling me that this other person going to win, but I hope I'm wrong. Right. So, I mean, I agree with everything that you said, man. You spot on with that. So I really got nothing else to add to it, man. You know what I mean? I would just my last words for everybody, man. We appreciate y'all. Hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl today. If you're gonna be drinking on the Super Bowl party, be safe out there. And OG, man, great job as always. And y'all can catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. We do the Monday show now too. So I'll be live tomorrow night at 7:30, and then also Wednesday and Thursday at 7:30. And if you want to join the TKO debate series, knockoutboxing86 at yahoo.com is the email. And check out our daily content. And please, man, we work hard on our predictions. So if you want access to our predictions during the week, you can go ahead and join the channel as a member. It's only $2.99 a month. And otherwise, you won't get the predictions until the day of the fight. And as you can see, the Lanier Perro prediction hit, the Mario Barrios prediction hit, and the prediction that we had on Shakur Faust, those all hit this week. So, we putting in a lot of work. So hopefully y'all come through and support the channel. But that's all I got, OG, man. I appreciate you, dude. Great show.
Yes, sir. I want to shout out to Dub Right Side and the Cash App. I appreciate you. I appreciate you in the Cash App, my brother. All right. Thanks a lot. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you all for showing love to me and Knockout Boxing 86.
Right Side hit me up too. Appreciate you, Right Side. Thank you, man.
All right. Yes, sir. Appreciate Right Side showing that love. And I appreciate you, everybody that came out. Thank you all for coming out last night. So thank you all for coming out this morning. I know sometimes it's hard to get up after a long, good fight night, but this is where you hear all the latest and greatest news in boxing. This is where you come to catch up on. All right. But like I say, we will be live tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And of course, Knockout Boxing, he will be live once again on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, baby. All right. So make sure if you don't do anything at all this week, make sure you listen and tune in to Knockout Boxing 86 TV and KQKC Boxing Network. We're working hard for you, baby. We're working hard for you. And with that, that's all we got. And with that, we are out of here. So peace
out, y'all. Y'all take it easy.
Yes, sir. Peace.